Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 22 of my Road to the Show series here on MLB 14 The Show. And today we're ready to get the 2017 season started after we signed a 4-year extension with the Tampa Bay Rays that will take us through our team control years up through our 6th year in the big leagues. Then we'll be able to hit free agency. But we are ready to get a new season started here from Yankee Stadium in New York. Very excited. First year being a full-time ball player, hopefully going to play, 162 games and get 650 at-bats or whatever and try to put in a full seasons of work and try to get this team to the playoffs, something we have not done in my 2 years here. We almost did it last year. The first year we really struggled. I think we finished 12 games under, and last year we obviously got really close, lost in a one-game playoff to the Angels. So that's the goal this year. We want to make the playoffs, but things did not get off to a swimming start here, as you can see. That's probably a weird way of saying it, but we strike out on a changeup there from Masahiro Tanaka, but here's a little blooper, and that's actually going to fall in for a base hit. Surprised Ellsbury was not able to get to that one, but we will take it for our first hit of the new season, and that would be our only one of the day. We go 1 for 4 in a 7-2 Tampa Bay Rays victory. David Price gets the win over Masahiro Tanaka, and we would drive in a run on that single. So that's a 1 for 4 day. Not the greatest start, but we're going to move on to game number 2 here against Max Scherzer and the New York Yankees. Top of the 4th, it's a 4-4 game, and no, this is not a replay of yesterday, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's a little bloop single. Ellsbury doesn't get to it, and we will take it again, our second into the season, and it's another blooper. And once again, that would be our only hit for the day. It would be another Rays one, I do believe, but we'd fly out 3 other times to center field, so I guess Ellsbury got the best of us on those other times. But game number 3 of the set here, Michael Pineda on the mound, 2-0 count, and we're going to drive this one to deep left center field. Outfielders going back, but that's going to be caught just in front of the warning track, and that was sort of the theme throughout this episode. Lots of flyouts. I'm not sure if it's us getting under the ball. Seems like we're driving nicely, but a lot of it is just ending up into the center fielder's gloves, as you will notice throughout this video. Here's a deep fly to right field. This time I believe that's Alan Craig out there in right moving back, but he makes the catch on the warning track, and that will be an out right there for Saul Goodman. So anyway, we're going up against the St. Louis Cardinals, which is a team we seem to face every single year. We're up 5-2 in this game, and here's something we were doing more this episode, walking. And that's another goal for me. It's a personal goal for me this season, is to try and get, I want my OBP to be like at least 50 points higher than my average. I think that's that means your walk rate's enough to sustain, decent hitting and all that. And I think it's a solid walk rate that we would, that it's sort of more of a personal goal for me more than anything else at this point. There's a nice little drive. It's probably the first time we put really solid contact in the ball all year long. That was a good drive to right center field off of Joe Kelly, and that goes for a double. You could take a look at the replay. That one was left over the plate, and that just felt good. Finally, drive one to the deep part of the ballpark, but it's a 5-5 game later on, and we walk again, that time on the changeup that misses high and away. So it's a 6-pitch walk there for Saul Goodman. And you also notice the new number. I think 72 is an interesting number. One of my favorite numbers in baseball is 27 because so many players wear 27. Numbers I like in baseball are like 27 and 64. 64, a lot of good prospects on the Red Sox have come up and worn. Like Pedroia wore it, Alan Webster wore it, Will Middlebrooks wore it. So 27, though, a lot of baseball players wear it. And I actually decided to flip it and go 72. Decided I'd try that out. It's a little weird. I might switch it around because I'm not feeling it too much. But here's Ervin Santana back on the Angels. And that's going to be a liner into center field. That will fall in front of Mike Trout out there for a base hit. So it's a leadoff single here for Saul Goodman, getting a hit off of Ervin Santana. That's nice. Santana back on his old team, the Los Angeles Angels, after who he played with last year. But anyway, 8-3 ball game here. And Goodman to deep center field. That ball is going to be gone for a grand slam. Just over the glove of Mike Trout. It's Goodman's first home run of the season, and it comes in a big moment. They were up 5, now we're up 9 after a grand slam right there from the right side of the plate. Great line drive, piece of hitting right there out of Saul Goodman. 4 RBI come home on the play, and you can see the Rays are pretty excited there. That pretty much seals this game. We would end up winning. So anyway, the Rays actually, I believe, had a pretty decent offseason. I think, I don't remember. I should have showed some of the names because I don't remember them all off the top of my head now. But I believe we actually signed like 2 or 3 solid players. I don't know if you'll see them at some point. I think we have John Baker now. We might have signed like a 4th starter to replace, I forget who. Oh, this is Ronald Belisario starting for the Angels. And that was like such a joke. Like you're going to see in the final score of this game, Ronald Belisario starting for the Angels was such a joke. That's already the second time we've gotten on base today. Now it's 9-4 in the 4th inning. That's a base hit back up the middle. This entire game is such a joke with Belisario starting, and the final score is pretty outrageous. But it's another base hit back up the middle for Saul. And now in the bottom of the 5th, 12-4 is the score, and Goodman, once again, this time driving into deep right center field. That ball is going to get down and actually fall off the wall. Goodman will get into second safely. Trout got that in pretty quickly, but still, Goodman too fast. Getting into second, and that would be, I think, our third hit of the day. We go 3 for 4 with a walk, and we win 16-8. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why Ronald Belisario would ever start, but oh well. What are you going to do? You just got to take advantage, I suppose. Now, next game against the Angels, not going as well. 8-1 is the score, but we actually work a walk right there. Well, probably should have been a strike, but it's a 9-pitch walk, so that's something we're doing more. We're working more counts. We're, you know, I wish this game tracked pitches per plate appearance, which is a stat that I like to look at in real life baseball. Because I bet we'd be, I don't know, probably in the 3s or 4s, which is pretty solid. Like, I think, like, I know the highest are like the 4.2, 4.3. I'd bet we'd be in the high 3s or in the low 4s or something. But there's a deep fly to center field that gets caught. Now Drew Hutchinson, or not, this is Dustin McGowan on the mound for the the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's going to be a base hit into right field. So put a couple nice swings on the ball against McGowan, and we get a single and a deep fly out. Now top of the 6th, McGowan still in 1-1 game, and that was just a dirty backdoor slider right there that completely froze me. Could do nothing with that, and that is going to be strike 3. So now top of the 9th, chance to try and get on base here, and we do just that. We work a walk there, so that's the second time being on base off of, I believe it's, I don't know, Mickey's Story maybe? I was going to say Drew Story. I think it's Mickey's Story. But we get on base twice that game, do our job, and I don't recall if we actually came around and scored there. I probably should have taken a look at it, but oh well. So we go 0 for the next game, and now in the final game against the Toronto Blue Jays, not the Tampa Bay Blue Jays. I think I've said that in the videos before. I always mix the two up, but it's a base hit into right. Now, I believe this is Sergio Santos in the game, and we get another base hit into right. It's pretty much the same spot. That one didn't quite eat up the first baseman as much as the other one did, but still we get on nonetheless, and that is going to be our second hit of the ball game, and that would do it. We would go 2 for 5, and we would actually come around and score in that 9th inning. So anyway, still the average pretty low, though. We're really struggling out of the gate here, I think, and especially in this next stretch. Right now we're hitting around 250 or so, but you're going to see this next stretch, our average really dips. We're hitting 237 over our last 10 games, and this is where things sort of started to fall apart the second half of this episode. I'm going to do about 20 games per episode now that I'm starting, you know, full-time starter. I used to do about 30. Or once a month or so. I do like 1 a month, but just like 27 games really. But if I do 20 games, that's what I used to do when I was in the minor leagues. I think that'll work out well. So we get a deep fly to a couple deep flyouts this game. This one actually gets a run home, and it'll be ruled a sac fly. But putting good swings in the ball, they're just not. They're not finding the ground. They're just finding the gloves of the defenders, and that's an 0 for 5. So I don't know if it's, you know, really anything we can adjust. I think, like I said, I think we're just hitting the ball well. But I think it's going into I just think it's, you know, it's getting caught. It's like, you know, our BABIP is low and our hard hit average is high, like David Ortiz or something. But anyway, here again, we put a great swing on the ball, driving it to left field, but it's right to the glove. I just don't think there's anything you can do about that. It's hard to say, okay, I'm going to hit this ball 15 feet shorter than, you know, I would otherwise, that it'll fall in front of a fielder. There we work a nice walk off of Justin Verlander, though. And Verlander, I don't know what his rating is in this game. I'm sort of curious to check it out, but we go 0 for 3 that day with the strikeout in the 9th. We would walk, though, in the 2nd and get on base. So, you know, at least our walk rate is up there. I'm not sure what our slash line is. Maybe I should have showed it at the end of the video. But you can see here, things not going too well for us right now. Bottom of the 2nd, it's Masahiro Tanaka, and that is a strikeout there. Oftentimes I try to, I end up accidentally check swinging. I think that's something with my controller, but it usually doesn't matter. It's usually on pitches like that where I have no chance of hitting anyway. So another changeup. That's the pitch I'm really struggling with this season too, is the changeup. Just not being able to put a swing on it. But here's the Better Call Saul moment of the episode. Chance to try and make up for it here against Tanaka in the bottom of the 6th. And that ball's lined into left center field. And, oh, it almost got out of there, but it will be caught. And that's sort of the theme of this episode, like I said. And, you know, the Better Call Saul moment sort of correlates with that. Just not a lot going right for Saul. And when he gets those moments like that, really struggling to produce. So here, I ended up messing around with a couple batting stances here at the end of the episode. This is Ike Davis's, because I like Ike Davis's little like elbow hitch that he does in his little stance. We actually get a hit with it there, and we go 1 for 4 that day. with a fielder's choice later on in the game. Now Ike Davis' stance again here against the Yankees and Pineda, and this ball is going to be driven to deep left field, and that ball is going to get out of here for a 3-run homer and a deep fly at that. That got, I don't know, 5 or 6 rows in there, so that's a pretty long bomb right there for Saul Goodman, and that was a good sign, but I still wasn't really feeling Ike Davis' stance. I experiment with one other stance here in the last, probably the last game of this episode, I think, but that was a nice fly right there. That felt good for Saul to get one over. That's only his second home run of the season. We would walk later on in the game and go 1 for 3. That was we never put a ball in play that game. I thought that was funny. But here's Troy Tulowitzki's stance. It's a stance that one of my good friends who changed his channel a lot, but his last channel was the name Soap, and I don't actually know what happened to him. People always ask me what happened to him. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in like a month, but anyway, he used Troy Tulowitzki's stance a lot. That was Tulo's, and I sort of liked it. I got a nice double there, and then later in the game I hit this one back up the middle for a base hit, and now a drive and a run. So might stick with that stance for at least the beginning of the next episode. I sort of enjoy playing with it. It's a little bit of a funky stance, but I like the little toe tap, and I think it works nicely. So we go 2 for 4 that day, and that is going to wrap up this episode. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and that's going to do it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and this was out.